All right, Smiles volunteers, we are back this month for another training video. We're actually redoing a training video that we did a few years ago, and this one's going to be focused on how to bring your horse through the mounting ramp and the block. We're going to start with the ramp today. We know this can be a challenging spot. You can see some horse behaviors come out when you're bringing your horse through the mounting area. It's also a crowded area. There's a lot of guests around. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks how to make that a smooth process. So I've got Rodney with me today. I'm going to bring him through to the ramp. So what I want you guys to do is get yourself pretty close to the barn door, okay? And as you walk on, just come in at a nice slow pace. There's no need to come in really quickly. Just bring your horse in at a slow, collected pace. When you get about here between the two blocks, I want you to pause your horse and get around to the offside. This is a very, very important step that some volunteers tend to miss. So I really want to hone in on that today and make sure that you guys are remembering to get onto the offside of the horse. The reason we have you do this is so that there's no gap between the horse and the rider getting on, okay? So get yourself onto the offside, and then you'll have to walk backwards for a few steps. Again, nice and slow, bringing your horse in. And you're going to bring them up to the seam that you see on the ramp, okay? I know it's not the same seam on the other side, so we're going to look at the one that has the rider on it. You're going to bring it so his feet are about in line with that seam, and you can see that I'm still on the offside. Once you get your horse stopped, I want you to continue to stand on the offside, and we want your both hands on the lead rope, and we want you looking at your horse. Obviously, you can say hi to your rider and everything, on your way by, but this is a horse leader's job right now is to just keep that horse nice and still and pay attention to any kind of horse behavior that you see in the mounting ramp, okay? So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to let my rider get on. Once the instructor gives me the all clear, I'm actually going to get back out in front of him first before I ask him to exit the ramp. So here I am out in front. I'm going to turn my body just a little bit, ask him to walk on, and I'm going to stop him once his back feet have cleared the ramp. Now I know many times the instructor will ask you to go right into the arena depending on how much traffic is out here. It doesn't matter, do what your instructor tells you to do. If you are going to stop in this area, just make sure that you are getting the horse's back feet away from the ramp, okay? So that's a good example of bringing your horse through the mounting ramp. We're going to do the block next. You're going to be lined up at the same position as if you were going through the ramp, but instead this time you're going to walk your horse past the ramp through the clearing. So I'm going to tell Rodney to walk on, and I'm going to have my eye and my sights set on the mounting block. And again, just come in nice and slow. We know some horses, like Rose, for instance, likes to go a little bit on the faster side. So just slow your horse down so that you have a good amount of control of that horse. When I get close to the block, like I am now, just like with the ramp, I'm going to actually pause my horse and get around to the offside. Again, this is going to help the horse stay as close to the rider mounting as possible and not leave like a person-sized width for that rider to bring their leg over to try to reach the stirrup to get on their horse, okay? So again, just make sure that you're getting onto the offside. It's a really, really important step. So once you're on the offside, just start to bring your horse in. I'm walking backwards, checking for the cones, checking for the block. You can see I'm using my lead rope to angle Rodney's head a little bit closer to the block so I can make sure he's as close as he can be. A good stopping position when you're at the block is this big step on the side. Line your horse's feet up with that step, and then you should be in a good location. One thing I forgot to mention over at the mounting ramp is that if volunteers can help to square up the horse for us, that would be helpful as well. So squaring your horse up just means that the weight is about evenly distributed on all 4 feet instead of having 1 foot really up high and 1 foot back. That's just going to help keep the horse a little bit more balanced and prepared for the rider mounting. So if you do have to square up your horse, just put very light pressure on your lead rope and either back your horse up a step or bring them forward a step, whatever you need to do to get them square. Once your horse is square, you're going to keep yourself on the offside, 2 hands on the lead rope, looking at your horse. Again, kind of make eye contact with that horse so that you can see any behavior happening before it were to occur, okay? What we don't want to see is volunteers standing directly in front of the horse. We don't want to see volunteers holding the halter of the horse. That can be a very constricting motion for your horse. And then we don't want to see volunteers on this side of the horse, which is the correct side for leading. Again, we want to leave all of this room open for the instructor and the rider mounting, okay? So once your rider is on and your instructor has given you the all clear, you can exit the ramp and walk into the arena. Typically, because there's a lot of people usually in this area, we will have volunteers bring their horse all the way into the arena for their second safety check. So I'm going to get myself back around to the correct leading position, ask Rodney to walk on, bring them all the way in, and then we can stop for the instructor to do a safety check. Now I know that Rodney makes this very easy. He's a seasoned Smiles horse and he knows what he's doing. We're going to try to catch some videos of some volunteers in class action bringing their horses through both the ramp and the block, so we will be sure to share those with you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, just give us a holler.